This is going to be a weekly Grandmaster Nightfall, showing you how to solo it. The weekly feature GM is Saub's Battleground Moon. This is my 8th GM that I need to solo for the Conqueror Seal, with the 9th GM being locked behind Act 3, which is going to be it's going to be locked behind the story. Before I go into this run wasn't my best, but it was my first clear of Saub's Battleground Moon. This video will contain all the positioning and everything that you want to do, but it's not an optimized run by any means. The reason why I'm not going to run this back is because I want to move on to something else. Some other build, something that's more interesting. You know, we can do another run on Saubs or a different GM entirely. You know, time's valuable. And, you know, instead of just running this back, I'll just showcase my first clear, right? So, surges, avoid surge, strand surge. Champions are barrier unstop for Saubs. Solar threat is on, which actually doesn't really matter. Solar threat doesn't matter. Overcharged machine guns on, but doesn't really matter. Fire pit, that's the modifier. Chaff, the usual GM mods. Here's the build that I'm using. Before I go into it, I'm going to say to you that this probably isn't the build for Saub's Battleground. I haven't run it. So what I would recommend instead of this is my usual Crest of Alpha Lupi build. Or hazardous propulsion will be better. Hoyle would have been better. These other options would have been better over Peregrine. I was surprised. I thought Peregrine would have cooked in this and it didn't. You know why? Because the GM's so damn spread out. It is ad dense, but all the enemies are really, really spread out. And the final boss, there's no benefit at all to running Peregrine. So at least you can take that information away from the video. Don't run Peregrine in this. Waste of time. Use something else, like I said, Alpha Lupi, Hazardous Propulsion, Hoyle, Symphoceps even. You could even run Eternal Warrior, although it's not that good. I did use it. It's not that good. It isn't. But it would have probably given me a little bit more benefit than Peregrine in this run. Anyways, on with what I actually did. Weapons first. Tunas for barrier and unstops. Le Monarch, obviously the general outlier that you use with this build. Watchful Eye I'm using with Power of Resolve mod, and Power of Resolve will stun unstops, and we are using Fist of Havoc for low cooldown, Rally Barricade, Seismic Strike, obviously Seismic Strike with Peregrine, Flashbang Grenades invaluable in this, Aspects with Storm's Keep, Touch of Thunder, Fragments Wars, Spark of Shock for Jolt, Resistance, Discharge, Frequency for Bolt Charge build. Mods are on screen. I'm not going through it all, as there'll be a dim link anyways, but I might not even give a dim link actually in this case, because I'm not recommending Peregrine Graves, but you can see the mods on screen, and that would be applicable to other builds that you may use, like Double Arc Resist, you know, Arc Holster, Arc Scarf, stuff like this, Utility Kickstart, Prox Ward, all this stuff's really valuable. Okay, so that was the build information. So here's your solo GM advices on Saub's Battleground. So the starting section isn't too bad, very ad dense. Knowing the ad spawns helps you a little bit, but it's not too much of a factor. A lot of champs, a lot of ads, a lot of Arc Knights. I'm just going to get a blind in here and get a Peregrine Strike. Obviously, Peregrine Strikes doesn't get... It's not really worth it on orange bars. It's only really worth it on champs and mini boss and tormentor, as the description says. But yeah, we just pop a barricade right here where this red piece of cover is to my right and left. Just keep doing your void volatile detonations with Le Monarch, plus popping up those barricades. Obviously, you're going to keep getting your health regen, etc. So there'll be after most of these acolytes and knights are killed, a barrier champ will spawn in middle doorway. Then an unstop shortly after will spawn on the top of the platform. These are ad spawns. So get rid of that barrier champ as soon as, because you don't want the barrier champ alive while you're dealing with the unstop. Melt them down with a machine gun, chill clip, whatever you want. Just get rid of them. Right, now work on the Boomer Knights, because the Boomer Knights are more of a priority over the acolytes, because they can stack up and hide later on other phases. Keep getting your barricade down, of course. Unstop spawns in. So I think I'm going to freeze him. Yep. I'm trying out Peregrine on the champ. Let's see what it does with no Arc Surge. Boom. All right. It's good, but when champs are spread out so much like in this GM, the power of Peregrine will go down. And you'll see over the course of the run, Peregrine becomes useful all the way up into the boss, and then at the boss, it's not worth your time to run it. Yeah, that's just really how it works, especially with this. Peregrine's fantastic, but, you know, it all depends on environment and stuff. We've got a super here to use, so let's use it. We'll set off this Hypernova. A Sentinel Shield will spawn in on this phase, on phase 2 of the opening encounter. That's what I would like to see, you know, sort of phase 2 of it. After the initial set of champs are killed. We're going to go to this doorway. It's a very good position to stand. Let's see machine gun. Look how slow. Yeah. So the machine gun's another thing. Machine gun was alright in this, but I would have preferred to use a linear. So that's another change I would make. So let me just tell you all the changes so that I'm not talking about the entire video. If I run this back, I would run Crest of Avalupi or Hazardous Propulsion. And I would change the machine gun to a linear because the machine gun's not really worth it. You may as well just put a linear on. Because the final boss is all long range engagements, and stun and unstops with a linear is just, you know, it's more of an instant stop, whereas like the machine gun's a little lagging on the unstop. With the power resolves, the Taken Seekers, they don't, you know, you've got Tinas to stun unstops, yeah. But look, that's not an instant stun, is it? It's a 3-second stun. Sometimes the difference between a 3-second stun and a 1-second stun can be the difference between dying and not dying. Yeah? So that's what I say about that. Run a linear. You don't need a machine gun. Now on different builds, yeah, machine gun comes into play. Especially if you're on a Devour Warlock or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we run a machine gun. We do that. But on this build, where Le Monarch does all the damage for you, really, ad clear as well, you don't really need the LMG. Yeah, I thought that I was going into this thinking that I would, but then I didn't. Because I'm not really rehearsed with Cyrus Battleground. It's my least known GM. Obviously, this run, though, has nailed it down for me on exactly everything about PsyOps. What you need to realise with a GM is if you're not well rehearsed in that GM, once you get a good long clear on it, your first clear that is, when you run your second and third clear, you will run them 5 to 10, 15 minutes quicker on your second and third go. Because the first clear give you all the knowledge that you want. The downside is it took longer. But who cares that it took longer? You now are well rehearsed in the GM. Like I am now after the run has been done. Before the run, no, I wasn't well rehearsed in it. Which you can kind of see that in the gameplay, can't you? Well, not at this bit. But when we get to the Tribute Hall and the final boss, you can kind of see it. But what I will tell you is, I know all the ad spawns, and I know all the champ spawns. Okay, champ is what we need to deal with first, the barrier champ that is. Unstop, we're back to the doorway. We've got a Blistered Knight, we're going to take advantage of Peregrine. We didn't use it much, the damn shame. There we go, look at that. Good damage on mini-boss, yeah. It only gets the buff on mini-bosses, tormentors and champs. It doesn't get buff on orange bars. I wish it did, because there's a lot of orange bars in this. So it doesn't work exactly the same. You don't get a melee refund. That's exactly what I'm on about. You don't get the melee refund, whereas on the other targets you do. Okay, Barrier Champ's pushed. I was like, why is he pushed so much? But he has. So we'll get rid of this Barrier Champ first. That's what we're doing. There we go. Machine gun's doing good for us so far. So far, 10 out of 10 for the machine gun. For starting section. Le Monarch, obviously 10 out of 10. Tina's 10 out of 10. Super Fist of Havoc was really good in this. It really, really was. Hypernova to set off. We'll set him off. Or did we knock him off map? Or maybe kill him? Yep. New objective. That's it. You're done. There's a heavy pack at the back of the map. But look at my ammo economy. I've got max heavy just about. I'm just shy of max heavy. I've got full special. I don't need to go and pick up the heavy crate. There's a heavy crate. Before someone says, there's a heavy crate. Why didn't you go for it? Well, because I've got 98% ammo capacity. That's why I didn't go for it. Because I've got to go and run for it to pick it up to then go and run back. See? Don't want to run for it. Why? For 10 ammo? No. It's alright. I just go and run to the next section. Because ammo's not that much of a problem in this one anyways. It really isn't. Only Tina's a little bit, but even then, if you use Dreadful Finisher, you should have plenty of special. Alright, Tribute Hall. Let's focus on this, right, so that you understand it. I'm going to tell you exactly, even though my run's long, yeah, but I'm going to tell you exactly how and when you should dunk Taken Essence. Alright, get one Taken Essence off the first wizard, dunk. And avoid all adds. Just skip them. Although if you get weak, retreat. Or you know, maybe pop a super if you've got it, or start dealing with the adds. Deal with a Bane if you want, depends what Bane you get. But ultimately, dunk your first dunk. That is it. You'll only get one wizard on first dunk. We're clear so far what you got to do. Now, you got to wait for the two champs. There will be one barrier, one unstop. The barrier can spawn left or right, and the unstop can spawn left or right. But stand at the stairs to take care of the champs first. You are on champ duty. That is the only thing that you are doing right now. Nothing else. Get rid of the unstop first if you can. He's more of a threat because of the void beam. Yeah? There we go. Now barrier. Barrier will push without fail. Look, stand on this pillar. Easy. Chill clip Tinas. Be careful of Acolyte nades because of solar threat. We haven't got solar resistance on, remember? But I recommend that you don't run it. I actually recommend the double arc resist. That'll become key and critical at the final boss. But right now, get rid of your barrier champs and your unstops. Right. There's only 3 wizards up. 2 to 3 wizards and acolytes. That's all that's up right now. We shoulder charge this damn wizard. Yeah. And we get a Taken Essence. We've still got a lot of super left, so let's get our second Taken of Essence. We need 3 Taken Essence total. We have 2. We even got enough super to get another bit of damage. I should have slammed there instead, but that bit, he was a slow Bane and would have killed me, actually. I was actually quite lucky there. If I'd slammed on him, I would have been slowed and killed. So that was actually the right play, me shoulder charging. Come back here to seek respite. Middle is respite. You play here for now because the wizards are at the top of the map, not at the back of the map. The back of the map is where the stairs are. Don't fight from the stairs when you're on wizard duty. Not really. When you're on wizard duty, stand here. So what you want to do is try and weaken the knights as they go to meet. I mean, try and kill them, but if you don't, but if you can at least weaken them, you can kill them for later. Check if one of the wizards are a Bane, because generally 90% of the time they are. If they're a Drain wizard, you need to play far more passive and be sure to not die to them. Be a bit more methodical with that. Right, look, the maximum amount of Taken Essence you can acquire is 3, it's not 4. There are 3 waves. We already have 1 dunk. 3 plus 1 is what? 4? Yeah. Every time there's 4 burdens dunked, you will get a fresh set of enemies. In this case, you get a Shrieker and 2 Hive Guardians. They are the Solar Blade Barrage ones. They are technically... They can 1 KO you. If you're not really, really careful with them, they 1 KO. They actually are the most threatening Hive Guardian in the game. The reason why you don't know that is because we never fight them in GM content. This is the only GM that I know where I'm fighting them. I can't think of any other GM where I fight Solar Hive Guardians. They're very rare. You can admit that. Sentinel Shields get spammed and so do Stormcaller Guardians, but not the solar ones. If they Blade Barrage you, they will 1 KO you if all knives hit. You need to be careful with them. Now the Shrieker is the priority, but these Thrall are bothering me and pestering me. So get rid of the Thrall if there's some on your location, but you want to get rid of that damn Shrieker because that Shrieker's a wipe. So after every 4 dunks, you will get a Shrieker. There are only 2 Hive Guardians total in this. It's not more than that, although it might seem there's more than 2. You want to use a super cooldown on each Hive Guardian. Try and get it. I'm not going to kill because I had to pop super early to defend myself against the knight, so I'm not going to kill there. But I had to do that because the Blade Barrage would have killed me as I was on the way there. So you're going to make decisions. I purposely took a hit for damage to make sure I survive. That's why we run Fist of Havoc in this, not T-Crash. T-Crash, waste of time. Don't bother with yourself with T-Crash. It's a waste of time. I know it's the most popular super. If you didn't know, and I might make some, I don't know, I might have a look into this more. Light.gg tells us the most popular supers now. And the most popular super in the game right now is Thunder Crash. So this is misinformation. No, it shouldn't be. People are misinformed about the T-Crash. I guess people, look at the Blade Barrage. People just don't understand super regeneration rates in this game. So the tooltips need updated. They're not good enough. Nobody understands that you get ×3 Roman super buff. Because if you didn't play at Christmas, when was it, November? The Roman charge buff was November. If you didn't play during then, you won't know about it. So people just aren't aware that you get a ×3 buff to Roman super. It needs to be somewhere in the game so that people know about it. You know, it cannot be hidden on D2 Compendium. There needs to be an update to tooltip information in this game. It needs to be sooner rather than later, because it really, really is bad for new players to not understand the game. For percentages, what do exotics do by percentage basis? Nobody's going on Microsoft Excel. Only the top 1% people go on Microsoft Excel. Only top 1%. Maybe top 5. Maximum. Who's got time to go on Microsoft Excel and check Destiny 2 Compendium? Nobody's got time for that. The casual player has just finished work. They're not going to go on Microsoft Excel. This percentage information needs to be in the game at some point. I've heard that Bungie won't do it because of localization issues for languages or something. That's what I heard. I also heard that they don't want to put that information in the game. They want D2 content creators to put that information in the game. Not in the game, but tell people via videos. No, that's no good either. That's not the answer. Not everyone's a content creator. Not everyone watches them either. Percentages need to be in the game. Simple as. They need to be at some point. Okay. We're on 4 dunks. Remember, every 4 dunks you get a streaker, so we're good for now. We're not too critical. As long as you don't get a Drain Wizard or a Zealous Wizard or something like that, you're alright to free roam a little bit in this area. Acolytes are infinite, and you need to pick a side that you're going to dunk. I've picked right. I'm on the right side, or whichever way you look at it, I'm on this side, aren't I? I'm going to pop a super because there's 2. Remember, I didn't kill this guy from earlier. So let's get rid of him with our next cooldown. There we go. This is why it's so good with Fist, because you can get the Shield Crush while you're in your super. Therefore you get damage resist. We're 2 dunks. Now I'm trying to get my 3rd, but I am just contemplating on coming here because we've got a 3rd wizard in anyways. And remember, your max stacks are 3. You can't get 4 dunks. Now, on a fire team run, you can coordinate your dunks a little bit better. But I'm not in a fire team, am I? So, once we get to 3 dunks, just concentrate on getting a dunk. Don't try and kill another wizard, because that dunk, that moat, will disappear. They disappear, they don't stay on the floor. I wish they did stay on the floor. The moats. The Taken Essence does not stick around. It will despawn like a Gambit Moat of Light. No good. So just focus on. Make sure those knights in mid are cleared though. Definitely. Every now and then you get an orange bar knight. They are to be killed and sorted out because they can wipe you in mid. So yeah, look what I'm doing here. I'm doing what I shouldn't have done. Why am I getting another moat? I guess I've got that moat to see if I can go and pick it up. Let's see if I actually do that. I don't think I do. No, I can't. I could actually. I could go and grab it now, but there's a wizard in mid. But yeah, do I? Hang on. Look, I'm lying to you. I got it. Look at that clutch. Just got that. That saves a little time because of that. We use a super because we got it to use. You may as well use it. Get clear. Clear the ads the side you're dunking. Clear the ads the side you're dunking. We've picked right. You could have picked left. It's up to you. But when you dunk to note, you lose your super. So make sure you dunk at full health or close to full health when you're in your Fist of Havoc or Roman super or whatever you is. Now we've got 8 dunks. Remember, every 4 dunks you get a streaker. There we go. We're on streaker duty. That's what we're going to do. Oh, this Shriek, I thought he closed up. That was crazy, man. He nearly wiped me because of it. You're not on Shrieker duty just yet. You got Barrier Champ and Unstop to kill. Same as phase 1. Same as phase 1. Go to the stairs strat. This is the best place to kill Unstop and Barrier, look. Front entrance is no good. No good for champs, they hide. Stairs, they do not hide. The difference of positioning is critical, so make sure that you stand at the stairs. Yeah? So that's what we're doing here. We'll get a stun with a flashbang here. We'll kill him with Peregrine. Yeah, he's already dead anyways. Makes no odds. Okay, now Shrieker duty, which I'm, for some reason, running. Why am I forgetting Shrieker duty? Don't forget Shrieker duty. So yeah, pop a barricade here, and then just try and get your ball charges. But kill the Thrall first. I was a little impatient on this run, where I'm trying to melt down my Shrieker, but there's Thrall. Try and slow them as well. Slowing the Shrieker is actually effective, because you're getting your ball charges, and they're less threatening to you. Right, that's the Shrieker done. That's the double champs. There's no more Guardians. No more Guardians in this. Thank God for that. Okay, nice shoulder charge there with Peregrine. Then we pop Super. We've got 1 taken Essence. Then we get number 2 Essence, which we can finish them. Save Super Energy and you get Overshield. And then we're going for number 3. Can we get number 3? I don't think we do. Oh, do it? Yeah, we do. There we go. See, Prox Ward. Invaluable in this. It's invaluable. You're getting a lot of finisher kills. Now you want to run to the back of the map. Just reevaluate. And you dunk and obviously pick your side. Don't dunk right then left or something like that. Dunk the same zone. Oh, sorry, we're on the foul zone, aren't we? So we're on left zone now, aren't we? Clear out middle knights. Clear them out. Yeah, if there's some in mid. Get mid clean. Get mid clean. Now we've got a Drain Wizard. This is what I was on about. They can end your run. If you're out in the wild, if you're roaming the streets, yeah, you could probably be cooked by a Drain Wizard, and it's a chance. But I've realised, obviously, I've got 3 dunks. I need to dunk first, then get my moat. But I did get that Drain Wizard weak. But I don't think I end up killing him anyways, because we're on our final dunk. I've got a super cooldown to use. So what I may as well do here now is just use my super, get my dunk. Because I realised, oh yeah, there's a wizard to my left. Let's just kill him. Because I was going to kill him. I was like, oh, what's the point? Drain Wizard pushes? That's fine. Use my super. Just get rid of him. There we go. Make sure you're fullish health before you get dunked, because these ads will not despawn and can kill you after the 12 tribute is done. They don't despawn. Some of the acolytes do not despawn. I don't know why. So just make sure make sure you've got a good chunk of HP as you dunk, because you lose your super when you do the essence dunk. There we go. Tribute all explained in great detail to you. You also get ogres. Orange bar ogres, but I didn't get many on that run, so that's part of the run. After 8 dunks you will get orange bar ogres, but I didn't get many. I don't know why I didn't get many. That's something that I'm not quite familiar with on that tribute hall. You're meant to get a few orange bar ogres. Don't know why I didn't on my run. Alright, unstoppable. You just take your time. You can stand wherever you want with these unstops. Using a bit of the machine gun. Look, it's not stunning the unstop, man. Power Resolve is great, but it's only good at 10 meter radius. It's not stunning the unstop, look. So Power Resolve, whilst good, because it allows your machine gun to stun unstops, not ideal. Look. Look what's happening. Not getting the stun. I get weak. That was close. We nearly wiped because the stupid machine gun didn't work. See? So yeah, if I'm running this back on Titan Act, I'm not, but if I was, Storm Chaser is getting equipped immediate. Stupid machine gun gets knocked off. Machine gun's great, but everything's a tool. Everything you run in this game, stop thinking of it as personality, or you like this gun because of the colour of the gun, or you like this trait. Forget about that way of thinking. Your mindset needs to change, and you need to think of weapons as tools. When you're running a GM, I want you to clearly think, is it better to run a linear this time or a machine gun? Whatever GM you run, I'm not on about subs, I'm on about in general. You really need to think hard to yourself, right? I'm in a solo GM, is the machine gun really worth it? Depends on the build. Depends on the bit. Look at that nade. I didn't realise. Damn. Those nades are crazy. I'm going to use a super here because you can, and you will get your super back. So you can clear out all the ads and they don't spawn. I didn't know if these ads respawn, like infinite spawn, but they don't. So yeah, you go ahead and use your super. I'm going to use Peregrine Greaves on this boss. And to my surprise, it is not worth it. I nearly wiped because of it. I'm so disappointed in Peregrine in GM. I really am. Look at this. Peregrine Strike. Boom. Not enough damage. Not worth it. Why is it only doing that much? What's going on with Peregrine? The first week of this season, somebody told me it was buggy, Peregrine. It's not buggy now. But I'm like, why is it? It should be doing way more damage than that, man. Really am Mandela effective with it. Although it's really good in dungeon stuff, it is. It's good against champs as well, but I guess because Arc Surge is not on, it really does make that much of a difference. There's no Arc Surge. That is making the difference. Okay, so you can see the boss is sent. So far the run's been fine. Now we get to the final boss. My Peregrine Greave build is basically out the window. You don't need it. That's why I've advised at the start of the video. You run Crest of Alpha Lupi. You run Hoyle. You run Hazardous Propulsion. Stuff like that. You don't need what I've got on. But what the video will show you is some extra tips about where you can stand. Right. So for phase 1, I liked standing on left-hand side. There's a lot of room to stand multiple places in this area, and I haven't explored every zone where you can stand and how the ads react. What I can tell you is on left-hand side, phase 1, it's pretty consistent. It's consistent because the boss pushes you, so you get ample damage on the boss. And all the knights are easy damageable, and you can stay alive. Look, really easy. I'm going to use a super here just to see, for kicks. Let's see what the damage is doing. It's doing alright against the boss. Doing okay. But again, it's lack of Arc Surge. It really is noticeable when you don't have... I can't wait to customize GMs. I cannot wait. Yes, in Frontiers, you're going to get customized GMs and you can make your own Grandmaster Nightfall to your liking. I hope that means you can pick the Surge. If somebody down below tells me you cannot pick your own Surge next in Frontiers, I will be angry about it. If someone will know out there, I don't know. I'm not looking into it too much because I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. I'm not going to get too carried away at looking at Frontiers information up too much. But I do know that you'll be able to customize endgame stuff a bit more. But what I'm saying is, surges are a problem right now in the game. We have not had Solar Surge in over 6 months. Do you think that's okay? Imagine if somebody picks up the game and only plays it for 3 months. They might not have never seen Solar Surge in a GM. What's that about? Why are the surges rubbish? The surges are meant to match the artifact. That's a bad system though. It's a poor system. Because that means if there's not solar mods, you will never see Solar Surge in over 6 to 9 months. It's too long. By that time you might have aged a year. If it ends up becoming 12 months. Too long of a time to wait. Way too long. I've been waiting for Solar Surge for a very particular reason. I'm not telling you why. It's a very secret. It's a secret of mine, and I'll show it when Solar Surge comes out. Or maybe, yeah, I need to show it when Solar Surge comes out. So that's why I'm annoyed, because there's something that you don't know about, and I'm not telling you about it. I'm not telling you what it is. I'll tell you about it when Solar Surge comes out. And it's nothing to do with solar weapons neither, before you say that. But I'm frustrated because I can't do it because Solar Surge isn't up. But when it does come up, by the time it comes up, the build that I'm thinking about won't even be worth it probably. So it's a damn shame. On Unstoppable and Barrier phase, you stand back here, you may as well. At least for the Unstop, yeah. I think it's beneficial to stand here, but for the Barrier champ, no. So you get my findings from my failures in this run. This is one of my failures. Look. Oh, we're hitting our barrier. That's so annoying. We're hitting our own rally barricade there. Happens a few times that with me. It's really annoying. But yeah, the barrier champ's better. You're better off taking him in the map. Pushing up. Because Look, what's the barrier? What is he doing? Why is he wanting to back up to cover? Look, he's wanting to. Well, we know why he's wanting to. It's because I'm standing back here. But at least I know in advance, yeah, don't stand here for barrier champ. It's wasted your time. Not only that, it's less consistent with your weapons. So just push up. So I was like, all right, let's try right-hand side. And I'm evaluating AI here. I'm also popping a super to clear out these knights. Because the knights don't seem infinite. Remember, knights are... This is like the other psyops. Remember when I told you wizards were infinite on psyops Cosmodrome, but acolytes weren't. It's the same thing. All the psyops GMs are sort of similar based. So knights aren't infinite. Look at that Nova there. Knights are not infinite, but acolytes are infinite. Now, the boss AI, we need to evaluate that. This is where people are going to die. Let me tell you about the AI, but let me get rid of this stupid barrier who's wasting my time. So, left-hand side's good for barrier. Don't stand too close, though, because the boss... Oh, we get pushed by acolytes. So, yeah, rogue acolytes will push you behind your back and flank you. That's actually quite interesting. Did not know that they would do that, but hey, we've studied it on the run. So, here we go. Get rid of this barrier champ. Do you jump freeze? Because we can't hit him when we're just standing. Need to jump up. So yeah, we're melting him down with the chill clip. Get rid of this barrier because he's a nuisance. There we go. Boom. Barrier dealt with. Acolytes in mid evaluated. How many's up? 3 or 4? Alright, you might be okay. Any more than that? Right. You need to start clearing them out. Any boomer knights anywhere? Also evaluate that. But I cleared them out with a super. Right, you need to get amplified buff. This will offer you a 15% damage resist. Boom, look. You pick up the spear. You pick up the spear. We're going to speed up the footage for editing purposes. You pick up the spear as after the boss has done his storm landslide attack. That's that attack right there. After he's done that attack, he won't do it again for a while. He can't do it back to back at least. There is some RNG to this boss aspect of Savathun, but what I will say is he cannot do his storm attack back to back. That will 1KO you, that attack. However, if you get hit slightly by it, it won't kill you. And double arc, resist and concussive dampener will help you from not dying to that attack. This is the hardest part of Psyops. Look, does the attack, perfect timing. Because as he's done his attack, I go into mid and then I've got my relic. Now, I'm going to try and do relic on left. Don't recommend it. Look, because the boss acts weird. Now, I'm going to tell you something more as well. The AI of the aspects ramp up the lower their HP health. So look, as he gets lower HP, he pushes up. Now he can hit me from back here. He couldn't do that before. That is an observation of the aspect getting more aggroed on you the lower his health. This is actually a really cool mechanic, but it does make it somewhat challenging. If you didn't know this, it will wipe you. So, same rules. Look, what's he doing respawning? He keeps wasting my spear ammo. Why does he keep respawning like that? Now I have to get another relic. Real annoying. Why is he doing it? Get amplified with a barricade first, then go into mid. Use your shoulder charge if you want, if it's a little quicker, to get the relic, and then come back here to confirm that you do not die to him. Look at that storm attack. It is really lethal. It's as lethal as Vesper's Host Lightning, in my opinion. It really is. It's a lethal attack. So, that's the first aspect done. Right, challenge is now gone. We're good. Now it's DPS. DPS is the easiest part of this. DPS isn't bad at all. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pitch up on left because look at the observation. Ads are on right on this phase. So why would you stand on right when the ads are on right? Waste of time. Stand on left, barricade up, Le Monarch spam. Now the linear would speed this up as well. I wish I really did have Storm Chaser on because it would have sped up the unstartable phase. It would have sped up the boss damage a bit. All these things. So we'll use a super here just to clear out, thin these enemies because there's a couple of Boomer Knights up that are annoying me. So I'm just going to use it because I've got a cooldown to use. Knight falls off. Yes, he would. Of course he would. Back to left. Back to usual DPS. There we go. This is confirmed. Like, I would stand here again. If there's anything I would do again in this run, yep, stand here again. Yep, nothing wrong with standing here. It's also doing a good job on the bolt charges on doing damage to the ads as well as damaging him. And we get lots of super cooldowns, so you could, keep doing your super over and over to thin the herd. Because these knights will stay alive when you're dealing with the final phase. So it's kind of nice in between you doing damage just to thin the herd of enemies on the section, on the map. Machine gun, we didn't use it. That's what I was on about. We don't need the machine gun. I don't know why. I tell you why I used a machine gun, right? Because I watched someone else's run, and I was like, oh, people are using machine guns this week. I watched 2 or 3 runs, and everyone was using machine guns. I was like, oh yeah, I'll use a machine gun too. To my surprise, oh yeah, nah, I don't need no machine gun on. I don't need ad clear. I've got all the ad clear in the world. What I need is a better weapon for unstops and better damage on the boss to speed things up. That's exactly what I needed. Right. I thought it was going to be unstoppable. It's not. I didn't know about this. It's just a general ogre, unless I would have supered him. That's fine though, because look at what we can do. We can just melt him here. Right. Okay. I prefer to kill the aspect on right hand side before the left hand side one. This is simple. Because the right-hand side one seems to be more aggroed on you rather than the left-hand side aspect. Any Banes, check, scout. If there's a drain Bane, you need to get rid of him before you start Relic Duncan. Get rid of the damn Banes. There was a Zealous Bane there. I don't like him. Well, I do like him actually. But I know that they can kill you very easily because of the void detonation damage they do. The aggro of ads. I'm going to go for left Relic, but I'm going to go for left Relic and take down right aspect. We're going to speed up the fudge because it takes that many relics. It takes that many relics. Look, the right hand side aspect is hiding. I've lost so much damage because of that. I'm evaluating now. Can I go right? Yeah, I'm going to go right instead. Simple, because the aspect is actually backed up, but now he's aggroed again. He nearly kills me because of overcommitment by me. I overcommitted to damage. When I say overcommitted, I mean that I actually stood there 3 or 4 seconds too long, and that is the difference between dying and not dying in this. It can be the difference. So that's exactly why don't overcommit. Just get to a plan. Your plan is pick relic up, evaluate area, make sure you've got amplified, and pick up your relics rather quickly. Do not mess around. Both aspects, look, they do the lightning surge thing, slam. So I seen that he did that. So it's safe for me to, no, he isn't. Yeah, it is safe. So yeah, evaluate that attack. See if he's just done his attack, the storm attack that is, the one with the lightning shocks. Then it's a good time for you to be amplified and go and pick up that relic. Because it's very unlikely that you're going to get hit by the second one. Because by the time he does his second one, you've got the relic already. And you're good. Now look at the aspect on the aggro. See? The lower the HP of that aspect, the more that aspect on right is pushed and aggroed on me. This was the hardest part of this run, I think. Because now I've got to commit to the other side relic whilst evaluating that damn aspect with his storm attack. It wasn't too bad. Once I realised, oh yeah, just go for left relic. But it meant that it was less damage with the spear though. Yeah. So that means more relics, which means more chance of death. So it's risky in a separate way. It's not risky in, oh, I'm playing risky. No, it's risky because I've got to pick up more relics and it's annoying. Because the ammo, by the time I get here, I've lost the ammo count. Because the ammo count of the spear depreciates quite quickly. So I'm opting to do less damage with the spear, but to make sure I do not die to that damn storm attack. There's once or twice I got close, but not too bad. Okay, this damn, look what's he doing? He keeps spawning in. What's that attack? He keeps rezzing up. That's buggy. So look, he keeps doing it. I'm losing spear damage because of it. It was real annoying because I should have killed him. We kill him now. There we go. Once that right relic, right aspect is killed, you're golden. You're done. You can congratulate yourself. You've done the solo at that point. That's the hardest bit. Because the relics don't do enough damage on GM level. That's the problem, you see. I reckon that's probably an oversight. See, when they made PSYOPs, because it was a PSYOPs, it was a seasonal activity. This is a seasonal activity turned to a GM. When it was a seasonal activity, the spear was really cool. Yeah? But it doesn't work for GM level because the spear isn't doing enough damage to aspects. Because the spear is based on your level. If you are minus 25 delta or even minus 30 delta, your spear is doing less damage, therefore it's more risky, therefore you have to pick up more relics per aspect to kill them, which means it's longer. That's what was so long about my run. The spears took ages. Took far too long. It's one reason. It's the only reason that stopped me from liking this GM. I like the GM. I actually prefer this one to Cosmodrome. I prefer it to Cosmodrome. The boss fight's a little bit better than that one. I'm on about PSYOPs now. Yeah? I prefer it to that, but the spears, both of them, PSYOPs, Battlegrounds, they both suffering from the same issue. And the issue is, the spears, they're not doing enough damage. It's as simple as that. It means you've got to fire 10 billion relics. And it works in a fire team. See, that's the thing about Battleground GMs and PSYOPs GMs is that they work for fire team. They're fun. You got 3 people to pick up a relic. That's times 3 the amount of damage. The spears are balanced around a fire team, not solo. Now, I know you're going to tell me, well, GMs are not designed to be soloed. That is false. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why that is false. Number 1, why are you allowed to load up the GM solo? And number 2, why does Bungie keep mentioning in their twabs, asking you, the players, who you are going to watch solo the GM? They have mentioned this 2 or 3 times in their twids. I've got a long memory, I've got a real long memory, and I don't forget things. So Bungie are fully aware that people solo this. They're fully aware of it. Don't think they're not putting their head in the sand that much. Come on. They've got a full-on social team watching people solo GMs. And it's the sign-ups speed is cool. All I'm asking for is, right, they need to buff the speed a little bit. It should be doing standardized damage. It should not be based on light level. Most people won't even know that little tidbit. I'm just saying, look, it should be just doing standardized damage. It should cost 3 relics per aspect, no more than 3. Because any more than 3, you feel like you're just, it's too many relics and you're getting annoyed. And then the GM becomes not fun, it becomes annoying. Yeah? Not in a difficult way, but in a tedious way. And I don't like tedious difficulty. I like difficulty. Obviously, I like difficulty. I've been doing challenges for all these years. Of course, I would like a difficulty. Difficulty entertains me to a point and keeps me satiated and satisfied. That's why we do these off-meta things. Keeps me satisfied. That's why I don't run meta for every single video. So I do want challenge, but I don't want tedious difficulty. Never wanted that. Never do I want that. DPS on final phase, as you can see, is really easy. It's right side. We switch from left to right. Notice all ads are on that side, generally speaking. Means that you can easily DPS. Do not kill the boss. Get the boss weak. Maybe 5%. I got him too weak, but it makes no odds. You're going to super the boss so that you can confirm kill with a Ghost Crush whilst you're in Fists of Havoc. Really simple, really straightforward. Run was rather long. Yes, wasn't the best run from me for this, but at least I've give you the run at the very least. That was a solo GM on PSYOPs. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.